As I talked about setting goals, I have for the past couple of years, I've set a meaningful and challenging goal, and what I've found is that my donors really get behind this. It's been really just such an honor to go through this process, and it's been so meaningful for me to see the support that I'm getting from my donors. But I also have learned to kind of not sell myself short in recognizing that when we set these lofty goals for ourselves, we're compelled to get there, right? And, as long as we're surrounding ourselves with the right people, we have people who are there who want us to reach our goals and to also help us get there. So I've found it to be just such a great experience from this of seeing that my donors are really invested in the goal that I set. I also, for those of you who have been doing the event for multiple years, I have gotten in the habit of increasing my goal from previous years. And it's been a really great conversation point as I continue to reach out to the same donors by giving them, a specific amount. Last year when I was doing let's see if I can raise $10,000 in 10 days, I realized that if all of my donors from 2014, there was like 135 of them, if all of them gave me about $12 more than the previous year, then I would be able to get to $10,000. Now, obviously, none of my donations necessarily stay the same, so I don't have the same number of donors. Some donors give one year and don't the other year. But it was a way that I could talk to participants. So what I had done was, again, I determined how much money each donor would need to give to help me get there, and then I asked each donor to give that much. Now, obviously, the donor who I'd reached out to with this example, they had given me $75 the year before. And that's, again, where the work really comes in of sending these individual asks to people. I look at how much they gave me the previous year, figure out what their new total would be if they gave me just $12 more, and I plant that seed with them. I ended up I went from, raising $8,500 in 2014 to raising $12,000. So I definitely reached that goal, and I had my donors to thank for that, obviously, for getting engaged in that goal and helping me get there. I also post frequent updates on Facebook thanking my donors and giving them a report of where I'm at with my goal. So what that does is it really keeps my fundraising top of mind for the people who are in my life, who follow me on Facebook or who I'm friends with on Facebook or have given to me and I'm friends with them on Facebook. And it's been a really great way to also pick up some new donors who, Facebook, we all have a lot of acquaintances that we don't necessarily have personal email addresses for and stuff like that, and that's certainly the case for me as well. So I have ended up picking up a few donors that way, but they're people who have said like, oh, I saw your link, and I wanted to make a donation. It's not like I'm not necessarily making that my main mode of asking. But it's been pretty great because what I found by keeping people engaged and involved in my goal is that people have donated more than once. I've had people who they see that I'm close and they want to help me get there, or they see that I've increased my goal and they're really compelled to make that happen, or they want to be the one to get me to my goal. So that's been a great way for me also to set my goal and to involve social media in that regard. And then the last point on setting goals is I definitely recommend increasing your goal as you get closer to your current fundraising goal. I know from my own personal fundraising habits of when people ask me for money that if they're close or at their goal, I don't give them as much because they don't need it. They may ask me for $100, but I may see that they're only $25 away from their goal, and I'll give them $26. So you never want to give someone an excuse to give you less than you're asking for. And listen, I get it. I'm currently going through this battle with my sister who set her goal, I think, to $4,400. I wanted her to set it to $8,800, and we settled on $4,400 for now. And she's now at $4,500. So she's surpassed her goal, which is very exciting for her because she met her goal. But she's not walking until San Diego, so she has a lot of time to continue her fundraising. So I'm trying to work with her on increasing her goal, and I can appreciate how going from a 4,400 goal to an 8,800 goal is not really that desirable for her. But, I know that she needs to change her goal so that people who are continuing to go to her page or to learn about her participation don't have that psychological factor that many of us have of knowing that she's already met her goal, so she doesn't really need my help. So people, like I said, they're likely to give less or not at all if you're close to or at your goal. So I'd ask you to consider changing your goal as you get to or at your goal if you definitely know that you have another fundraising push going on or if you have more follow-up that you need to do.